Sherman. I've been a certified trainer over 20 years, and I am not the trainer that grew up flat stomach, small waist, in shape with a six-pack. I had to work for it. Listen, I have a very controversial topic today. If you want to reach the next level in your development, in your musculature, with your definition, I think I just said that, get out the mirror. What? Get out the mirror? Yeah. And here's why I say that. Follow me on this. In the beginning, when you're starting out, watching your form and technique is helpful. Okay. You know, you're trying to make sure you got the right angles, you know, your setup. And even in that, it depends on what exercises we're talking about. Because if you really think through it, there's a good portion of exercises that you cannot watch yourself while you do them. Like bench press. Okay. You're not watching yourself in the mirror as you work on your chest. Okay. Maybe for flies, but for a bench, you're not looking in the mirror. For your back, which is huge, by the way, your back, you're not, anybody with a great back, they were not looking in the mirror to develop it. Okay. Like I said, when you're starting out, you can use the mirror, you know, to measure and see what's going on. But it comes to a point where in order to really dig into the mind muscle technique, you're better served if you put your full concentration on what the muscle is doing. And you may be saying to yourself as you're watching this, well, I'm doing that. I'm concentrating on the muscle as I see it in the mirror. Well, I will rebut that with when you're seeing and watching and doing, your attention is now literally divided. Your muscle does not have your undivided attention because you are both trying to watch what you're doing and you're trying to do what you're doing. So you're trying to serve two masters at once. And so what I would challenge you to do is to close your eyes and focus on your technique and your form. Now, there are certain things you don't want to close your eyes on. I'll say that, like squats. I'm not sure about closing your eyes during squats. However, I will say that looking in the mirror during squats isn't very beneficial. You know, particularly when you start getting to the heavier weight, trying to watch your form is difficult because you're just focusing on moving the weight with good form. It's hard to watch and do when you're really lifting some challenging weight, right? If we're being honest. And let me just say, I'm not telling you what to do. People are probably listening to this like, I'm going to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. If you want to watch yourself, just say that. You know, I'm not here to, you know, call anybody vain or attack that at all. I am talking about if you are trying to get to the next level, this is something that has definitely worked for me. Okay. So in order to develop the mind muscle technique, what I have found is that it is much easier and much more effective when I am focusing primarily on my muscle moving the weight, as opposed to me trying to watch my muscles move the weight. And I have found that my results have supported and are supporting what I'm telling you here in this video. You know, because my argument is after you got the form down, you have your form down and you know what to do. In my opinion, it becomes the law of diminishing returns. And what I mean is the more you watch yourself, because you're distracted, you're not getting the full benefit of the workout. And for my people who are disputing that, who are ready to dispute me on that, I will challenge you to try it. Try the next time you go to the gym. If you're somebody who's been watching themselves in the mirror for a while, next time you go, try focusing solely on the muscle. Like get out the mirror, like if you're doing curls or shoulder press, and you are looking at the mirror. Like if you're sitting, like if you're doing a seated shoulder press, because most of the times, most gyms, there's going to be that row of benches that are in front of the dumbbells that are facing the mirror, right? And so if you're doing your seated dumbbells, you're going to be looking directly at yourself. What I would say is pick a point that's above your head and find a place to zone out and just feel what's going on, not just in your shoulders, but also in your rhomboids, your teres major and minor, and your infraspinatus, as well as your upper lats and your intercostals, and what's going on here in your bicep as your bicep and your shoulders connect right here at this point, and feeling what's going on in the rest of your shoulders and your shoulder blades. Like, there's so much going on that you probably aren't focusing on because you're busy trying to see what's going on. So I challenge you to try that. The other thing is, you know, for my folks who, if you're following a program, you know, like I deliver my programs via YouTube. So I have, like, when I send my clients their workout programs, they're getting a workout with videos of me performing and explaining the exercises. And so, of course, in the beginning, they're going to have to rely on looking at that. But as they continue to do the routine, they come to know, oh, okay, I know what to do. Boom, I'm doing it. And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, I can understand when you're looking at your phone to see the form and you're watching yourself in the mirror, you're trying to mimic what the person in the video is doing. And like I said, when you're a beginner, that's fine. But one thing I want you to think about is it doesn't matter necessarily it doesn't matter trying to match exactly what the person in the phone is doing, or in the, you know, if you have a magazine or something. The main thing is, it's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. Like, for instance, if you watch a video on squats and you're doing it just like the person in the video is doing it, but you feel knee pain, or, you know, your ankles aren't doing, they're caving in or something, like, the main thing is, if you don't feel good in your body when you're doing it and there's some kind of sharp acute pain, it doesn't matter that you're doing it just like them, because your body is still not right for your body. So, you know, you'll have to focus more on maybe those muscular imbalances and plan with your own form and technique until you find the proper way in how your body aligns and how you execute the exercise with good form for your body. Because, like, certain people, like, you know, your body doesn't necessarily move like somebody else's body does, and you may not be able to execute the movement the exact same way. So that's something to consider, and why I encourage people to get out the mirror. So just focus on the technique instead, and you'll find that your form and your results will increase dramatically. So I challenge you to give that a shot and see if it works for you. You know, and the last thing I want to just kind of bring this back, because I mentioned this earlier, but when it comes to, like, how can I say this? Anybody you've ever seen with great back development did not get that great back by watching themselves in the mirror, because you can't see your back. You have to feel it. And so they were able to develop a really strong mind-muscle connection. And that's how they got the results, because they were able to lock in and really feel what was going on in those rows. They're really able to feel what was going on in those lat pull downs. You see what I'm saying? Like, anybody with a great back did not get that back from watching it in the mirror. Nobody got great calves by watching the calves in the mirror. You can't see your calves. You can't see yourself while you're doing Romanian deadlifts or straight-legged deadlifts. You know, there's a lot of exercises that you'll do that you can't watch yourself perform, because your focus on your technique, well, first of all, it's not anatomically possible. And so you're relying on your mind-muscle technique and your connection in order to execute the movements and get the most from the exercise. Okay? So, like I said, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply telling you, number one, my own personal experience, and I'm challenging you to try it if you haven't. All right? So please, I'd like to hear your feedback. Drop a comment below. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Share it, please. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care.